Hello everybody, today I'm going to show you how to make a 9-head out of observation. First, you need to have a good high resolution photo and you need to put a line on the paper, on the transparent paper, 90 degrees to the edge. This is going to be our reference point. So I try to understand the organs one by one, like not the face but the head. So you can think about yourself like a butcher. So what we are going to do, we are going to do part by part. For example, neck is something like a cylinder. At the end of the neck, the connection to the bones, you can think like a cylinder and it's going to help. And I'm making the junctions, like the inside parts. And I try to understand the movement. So, like waist is the smallest part of the body, and I connect from the shoulders directly to the waist. I don't go around like a map. And if I cannot able to see it, please note that you have to see it. So take it out and make it. By the way, you can attach these two papers with little bit of sellotape, but you need to put one part totally open so that you can check it. So I make the bikini line and I'm using a 0.5 pencil. Don't use a 0.7 pencil because it's going to be too thick. The crotch is where the torso ends, and a little bit above, when there is the big fullness of the width, you have the hip. So the biggest part is hip. Then I'm checking about the knees. Knees are something like not totally circular but more like an ellipse. And I just make everything in a very detailed way, and I know that if I don't rush things here, if I make everything correct, then my 9-head will be much more better, because this is an analysis we are doing. So I'm making the ankles now, and as you can see, they are on the same line. They are not apart from each other because their length is the same, their proportion is the same, but this is a figure that's wide open legs, completely frontal. Sometimes because of the perspective, one leg can look short, but it is not short because of the perspective you see like that. And I'm placing the bones like in a symbolic way, because if I do illustration, I know that these parts will be higher than the other parts and it's going to reflect the sun. And I see that she's having some stiletto, so only the front part I can see. Now, this is important. Our body is proportionally in the same way. So, waist level is elbow level and crotch level is ankle level. Just check yourself in the mirror and you are going to see that if you are a standard person, of course, generally you have the same proportion. That's why I make some circular movements, and if I measure the top part left and right, I'm going to see that they are similar. So here, because she's holding something, I cannot see it clearly. So what I can do, I can check with my own self on the mirror, or I can ask a friend to pose for me. For now, because I know the general dynamics, I'm going to make it as I know it. And I'm making the joints. The rest is more rectangular pieces about the fingers. Only the tip is slightly curved. So basically, I'm checking, and it is very important to know that the total of a hand is generally the size of the face. You can also check like that. The other one, we don't see it because she shows the knuckles because she's holding something. So I make a good analysis now. And I can check, like the top part of the breasts are also important. I have to make it. And note that the top and the lower part, they are totally connected. If you want to have a figurine that's not collapsing, you have to note that they are acting together. So one side is going one way, the other side should be going the other way so that she can be on her feet. Then I make another line in the middle of the page. It is, you never skip this one because we are using this line to reference for everything so that we can have a balanced 9 head through it. So now I'm accelerating things a little bit so that you can see better. Rule number 1. You need a stabilization point. So chin, place it to 1 and squeeze the head into 0 and 1. This is a 3 to 3 centimeter. And I need to check my crotch. My crotch should be around 0.5 to 7 below level 6. And it should be in the same direction whatever you drove. So how much is the difference between the new and the old? You can just raise everything accordingly. But sometimes you want to change things, so I'm just keeping it. And shoulders should be between level 1 and 2, so it is a good placement general. And then I need to squeeze it into 5, but when I mark the 5, I take out the excess from both ends. Never take from one end, otherwise she is going to collapse. Waist should be 2.5 and then I just join them so that my ribs will be on place. But I realized that like the bust should be around level 2. If it is higher or lower, it's not looking good, so I just make it with my own eye. And the hip should be total of 4. So what I do, I basically make parallel line about everything, but this crotch is a little bit too big for this small body, so I squeeze it in, I make it smaller, and I check about the straightest leg. This should be 1 centimeter below 6 around, and the ankles should be 1 centimeter higher than 9. These are the correct positions. And the joint should be 1 centimeter. So I just blend them in and I make the bone inside. Here, the ankle, I move from the center. If I need to move anything, I need to move from center the same measurement to that line in the middle. So basically, the calf is a little bit wider, it is 1/3 of the lower leg, and I just make it the same. So I just come, and if I need, I can adjust, and soft eraser is very good to work with transparent paper. And then I move the leg into position, I make the feet, and voila, the second leg is coming with the same manner. They are in the same size. This way I can keep the balance. It is important that you move from the center, and the measurement from center to the midline should be the same in both ends. Then I just make some little corrections, and chin to 1, line to line. So this line should be on top of this line, chin always at 1. And the size of the legs should be equal because it's a frontal view. And then I didn't do the breast yet because I need to make the skeleton first. And then I'm placing it because when you make the spine is always curvy, and the measurement of the bust to spine should be equal in each size. Then because I shrink the shoulders, now I just move my body till I hit the end of the shoulders, and then on the same paper I move it along so that I can make all the drawings from my previous one. So by using the midline parallel, I go like that. I realize that I forgot the thumb. Then I should be adding it. Then chin to one parallel line. I came until I hit the end of the shoulder, and the same measurement should be with the top and lower parts, both sides. So you can make the bone and 0.5, and then this is very big. The face length should be the hand length. So what I basically do, I just squeeze it in by just decreasing from the lines, and then all the rest is rectangular pieces. Only the lower part of the fingers are a little bit curvy, and I add. And here is a trick. First, draw the lines, then by moving on top of it, I can come and I can place in a good way. I move it on the photo till I hit the lips, etc. It's a method that can be used by new students, but basically I do it completely afterwards by looking at it. It's going to be much more better. Don't forget that your face is going to be much more smaller now, but still it's okay with the trick. And I place my hair into pieces, and you can change your angle so that you can see it much better. So this was my girl, and as you can see, I just shrink it. Thank you very much.